Today, we actually don't have a huge amount of questions, which is fine. And that's great from that point of view. Hopefully the information was rich in content and people got a lot out of it. I do have a standing question that happens every week from one of my mates who loves to ask me questions around him. He's asking, he said, how many burpees and push-ups do I need to do every day to keep his sanity? So Michael, as you know, it's as many as you need to ensure that you do keep your sanity. He's a business owner and he's a mate of mine. And generally, the reason why I answer that question is because we need to keep ourselves fit and well and healthy as business owners, as you know. So hopefully that's answered your question, Michael. The other question that we've got before we go is that from Nick is that there's some talk of deflation on the horizon. Do you think businesses who rationalise their cost structures as a response to COVID will typically be able to or should focus on delivering better value to customers in order to coax spending out? That's a pretty complicated question. I'm not sure, Tim, if you're able to sort of shed any light on your perspective from what you're saying.
Sorry, was it around inflation on, after you've made those adjustments to your cost base?
Yeah, so do you think the businesses who rationalise their cost structures as a response to COVID will typically be able to focus on delivering a better value to customers in order to coax spending out? So another simple way of putting it, Nick's just said, is that a simple way is that do you expect businesses to reduce prices after COVID? So that's probably across the board rather than just a price in terms of selling the business. I think that comes back into, from my point of view, macroeconomics. And macroeconomics is very much around the old supply and demand curve or intersection. So I look at that and say, well, a perfect market is when demand meets supply, and that's where pricing actually becomes a pure price market. When you actually have inflated prices, that's when there's a undersupply and undersupply and over demand. And when we're going through these particular phases at the moment, we're going to see businesses that will actually drop off, which means that supply will drop off, demand may not drop off as well, which means price could increase in that situation, or vice versa. So I think that the market forces will cause there to be pricing remodeling going on based around different industries, who's actually in the industry, the competitive analysis of it, and the demand. No different to the sort of the economic principles that we deal with on a daily basis. Would that be fair to say, Tim, from your point of view?
Yeah, I mean, I think about one of my e-commerce clients who's gone through quite a sort of significant reshaping of their cost base. And that the front end pricing hasn't changed at this stage. Because I'm not sure they know where to change it to, because there's just no consumer demand. There's no consumer demand at the moment in that category to experiment, if you like, with pricing. But I think there's going to have to be some pricing adjustment probably on the downside, just as we think around what people are going through at the moment and how they feel around discretionary spend as well. So I'm not sure we're quite there at the moment, just because there's such a gap between that demand and availability of supply. But logically, it makes sense to me that would be the case.
Okay, thanks, Tim, and thanks, Nick, for the question. Hopefully that's answered some of it for you. I'm happy to take it offline for you. Conscious of time, just wanted to thank Tim today for his input and his insight, Matt as well, in terms of the update. Don't forget that we actually have a forum that you can join, which are under Workplace. So watch out for the invitations with that. Hopefully you've already connected with that. And this is where we store all of these recordings and information and anything else that we push through to that. So once again, just wanted to thank everybody for connecting in again today. We're looking forward to presenting to you again next week. Stay connected with us. We want to be there to support you guys through this difficult time. And we're very much looking forward to supporting everybody and coming out the other end and really still realising our dreams and aspirations about being in business and that's obviously why we had these topics today. So Thanks very much, everybody, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.